what's happening, everybody? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and welcome to What the F.A.Q. Season 3.
Yeah, I think episode 11 if we're not counting the live one.
Yeah, well, we should, right? We should still be counting the live one. I was supposed to put up a thumbnail on it. And I never did.
Well, then episode 12.
So. Yeah, so 11 or 12, whatever. If you're new here, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
So
yeah, there's not like there's going to be continuity errors if you're not staying through each episode every week.
You're like, I think he said back in season 1 on episode 7 that there might have been a yeah, it's thrown off
the biggest piece of foreshadowing in like YouTube.
It's thrown off the timeline. There might be that was a little hint for future things that may happen as we progress. So anyway, if you guys are new here, welcome. If you're not, same old stuff.
Oh, I'm Dylan, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that part.
I'm Mike. This is Dylan. All right, FAQ, weekly question and answer show.
Yeah, we're just
You ask us a question, we give you an answer. Whether it's right or wrong.
Or whether it just leads to a random
conversation
conversation
about whatever. So
right.
All right, so starting out, Bert74 asks, favorite music/artist related documentary?
That's a good question. Honestly, there's two. I really did like It Might Get Loud. That was one of the first ones I saw.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, I mean, after a while, I guess as time goes on, I really loved that Muscle Shoals one.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah, because that one was fascinating, and it was about a lot of stuff that I had no real reason to be that attached to until that, and then I was like hearing the history of it, and honestly, especially like with what everything that is going on now in terms of race relations in the country and everything, like it was pretty fascinating to read because at that point when they were still doing a lot of those early albums, everything was segregated still, and the fact that black and white musicians were able to collaborate and play that amazing music was pretty. I thought that was pretty interesting and pretty amazing part of history that doesn't really get brought up often enough. So I think that one, as time goes on, that one's probably my favorite.
I think there was a little bit more integration with musicians and stuff because it was more about music than anything else.
Well, yeah, because I kind of remember part of the
language, and that was a language that they spoke.
Right. Well, I kind of remember part of the movie they were saying that a lot of the extra pronouns and things dropped, like calling people sir and all that stuff dropped, and everybody was just Jimmy and Stevie and all these just regular names. Yeah. They dropped all the other pretension stuff. So.
Just dudes.
Yeah.
For me, I really liked the ZZ Top one.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
That was a really good one. The BB King one was really good.
Only thing about that ZZ Top one, I wish it would have gone into just a little more detail about like the pre-beard ZZ Top.
Well, I mean, I would think it's really interesting. Even the whole thing where they had basically a zoo with them on tour. I mean, it was crazy. So I really just liked. And I'm a big ZZ Top fan. Billy Gibbons is just tops in my book as far as being a blues rock kind of.
Yeah, no, I've been circling back again through all that stuff again. Just I revisit it every so often, and tonally, I don't know. It's still just one of my favorites.
You know, which is another one that I really liked was the Grateful Dead.
That one is an excellent one too.
Because if you're not a Grateful Dead fan, but you are a music fan, just watch it, and you might be like, "Oh, Grateful Dead suck, hippie." If you watch that, you might start to see like why and how the Grateful Dead did impact the longer term of music and everything else. I mean,
it's a good documentary to illustrate of like just sticking to your path regardless, like doing things your way and letting the rest of it.
Like what I always say, worry about what you're doing.
Right.
Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Right. Worry about what you're doing.
Yeah, and let the rest of it just kind of. If good things are gonna come out of it, then they'll come out of it, and that was I think the main thing to me in that documentary was just the fact that they really did just do things the way they wanted to, and eventually it kind of got out of their control. But like that early phase where they were just trying anything and everything I thought that part was probably the most interesting that I wasn't really that aware of in terms of like even letting people bootleg stuff. Like that was such an interesting.
They started their own side industry. Like a cottage industry around their own music, and it just people were like, "Oh, you can't give away your music," and they were giving it away from shows, and that generated more interest in their band. Like that was something that was a catalyst for them to even grow even larger. I got actually 2 marketing books because I read business crap,
But no,
But I have
you're a good blueprint for that.
I have 2 business books that, like, everything I learned about marketing, I learned from the Grateful Dead is what I think one of them's called.
Oh, okay. That's
And
cool.
we should set up an affiliate link and then sell,
Oh, yeah.
go to Amazon to buy it. But like, it's really cool, like the way they did mail order stuff. Like they were pissed because like their fans that traveled around wouldn't get tickets because scalpers would buy the good seats and then sell them for money.
Right.
And the people that were truly the fans and that were there for the music wouldn't get anywhere near.
Get left out.
Yeah. So what they did was they started doing this thing where like, send us $60 and we'll send you tickets up front.
Right. Yeah. Mail. Yeah.
So that way, like the real fans were able to get tickets and the scalpers got shittier tickets.
Right.
So, but it was stuff like that.
That is pretty cool.
But they had a huge mailing list. That was part of their deal too, is that they just had which we have now as email lists.
Right.
That we market to. And that was how they would communicate with, like, hey, we're doing this cool show, or we're doing this,
right?
Or this is
or
the
even
way
just
to
giving because as much people or as many people were following them, I'm sure it was like tour updates and like, hey, we're going, just the whole tour schedule and
I mean, all that newsletter type stuff. So very cool documentary there on them if you want to check that out. Yeah,
that one's a really good one. Yeah, honestly, that's what I mean. Like, even with the ZZ Top one, like, I sort of wish they had a documentary on that scale. Because the Grateful Dead one's like 6 parts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like...
But they're all the way back from the 60s, and, like, they're like the cat with 9 lives. Yeah. They've had so many iterations, and then all the way up to what it looks like today with John Mayer playing for them.
No, that's true.
You know what I mean? And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
That whole, so much stuff from the early days and the dudes that died and all this craziness and all the stuff and amazing, I think. And I'd never liked the Grateful Dead until Jerry was long gone. And then all of a sudden I kind of like woke up one day and I was like, oh, I get it. One day I just totally got it. I'm like, oh, I get it. Yeah. And I had a bunch of friends that used to listen to it a lot.
Right.
So it was around, it was on, I knew who they were. But like I said, one day I just kind of was like, oh, I get this. Right. It's not for everybody. I understand that too, but I totally get it. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I've seen him a few times too. All right, so let's move on. So we
no, that was a good. That was I was gonna say that was a good question. So, all right, Ben Coombs had a question last week. He didn't have one this week since we did the live stream, but I thought it was a good one that you should get in on. So it was, what pedal company is no longer in business that you would like to see return? So if you could resurrect...
Didn't we already you guys answered this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was one from the last week, but
so
you didn't...
Me,
yeah, so it's your answer for this one.
I don't know. That's a tough pedal company.
Yeah, like which extinct pedal company would you... Like if you could bring one back, which one would it be?
I think that might be too hard for me to figure out at this point.
Okay.
Because I'm usually like guitar, minimal. Amp.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, but if there was like one, particular one.
I'd have to think about it.
I mean, you like a lot of the classic Univox stuff, so I mean that could be.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, oh man, I'd really have to think about it. Because maybe like the Maestro typey stuff would be cool, but that was all Gibson-ish.
Right.
But I don't know. That'd be a tough one. Because I'm.
Yeah, I think Jake,
I'm a pretty simple player, so I have some stuff, but.
I think Jake chose Love Pedal, but I think Love Pedal's sort of still around.
I think they're in some type of litigation or something, and I think that's what's going on with them.
Okay. So yeah, Jake chose Love Pedal, MJ chose Bisonic or whatever that did the Expandora. And then, my choice was Sib.
Okay, I think I got one.
Okay.
Snarling Dog.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They used to make the wahs with the feet.
Yeah, I remember, the one that looked like a
and they used to have some cool. They used to have some cool wahs. I would love to see that come back.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool.
And then I would like to see that come back with some cool innovations in there.
Yeah.
So there you go, Snarling Dog.
That would be cool. Yeah, I agree. There's our morning phone ring. Right. Like every time for this one, it is kind of funny. So Carl Engstrom, he's doing
Carl?
Yeah, he's doing an amp build, and he was thinking of doing a single 6v6 or a single 6L6 build. So I think his question, if I remember right, because this was also part of the live stream, was whether or not it was going to be a little more complicated going towards the 6L6. I I mean, neither of us are amp techs, so I can't say that part for sure.
But sound-wise, is that what you're
Yeah, because I
going?
mean, I think in this point you're going at a headroom. That's like a headroom situation question.
I'd go 6V. That's me. You know how I like my 6Vs.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're gonna use it to like use the amp, like if it's just gonna be like a modified champ or something like that. I mean, I think the 6V6 would be cool because you'd get more breakup out of it quicker. 6L6, you can get quite a bit of power out of those, you know, even just the one. Because I mean, I think PRS actually makes a couple amps that are just a single 6L6, and they're around like the 20 or 30 watt range or something like that. I think 20-ish.
I guess it kind of depends on what you're going after.
Yeah,
I would go
yeah.
6V because I know that where the breakup kind of start, what that sounds like, and I prefer that.
Yeah, if you want to keep cleaner longer, then maybe the 6L6. And honestly, too, I think 6L6s do have I mean, it's done with tubes, but they do have like a glassier kind of clean. You know, everything's a little chimier and a little brighter.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on what you're going for.
Right.
But I mean, a nice, you know, you cook up a 6V6 on the weed.
Yeah, that's going to have
on
the
your
real
weed
breakup there.
barbecue, and that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, either one would be good, but I think that's really a headroom kind of question. And then, last one's Great Vanzini.
Great Vanzini, I watched him on, I think it was Ben Coombs' show.
Oh, was
I
it?
watched part of it. They were doing a live thing, so.
Yeah,
good to see you, Vanzini.
Ben Coombs, UPS.
Oh, he's
That was pretty good, yeah. Well, that's
Ben,
understandable.
Right. Ben, if you're watching, call me, bro. If you need to get a little bit, you know, if you need stuff to get shipped up to the Great White North, maybe I can help you guys out if you have certain things that won't cost you as much as that bullshit that UPS is trying to.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, like, what.
Because that's like excessive. I mean, we ship stuff all over the place. Canada.
Yeah, but I don't recall like a customer ever
too.
calling up and telling us like UPS demanded basically a ransom before they got a ransom that was worth more than the package.
Right. What's going on up there?
I'm not sure. What time is it?
I don't know. Are they not?
Somebody's here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just back
5 or 6
here.
minutes.
Somebody's up front just loading guitars into the back of a van. What the? Is this just somebody that's a pain in the ass that like doesn't realize we're open yet?
Probably
We're not open yet.
Well, yeah, because somebody's here. Somebody caught the phone.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Anyway, Great Vanzini asks, are there any new Reverends coming in? So here's the thing. Reverend is, I don't want to say they're sold out for the whole year, but they're almost sold out for the whole year. We do have Reverends on order that are going to go all the way to close to the end of the year. But so it's going to be kind of hit and miss. If you're looking for anything specific, let us know, and I can see where it's at. But I mean, we do have double agent W's, we got double agents, we got what else did I order? I think we got a couple Sensei Junior or a couple Senseis coming in.
Okay, sweet.
I got a Gil Paris coming in.
Is that the Strat one?
That's kind of more. The
Yeah,
Strat
that one.
style.
I'm actually kind of excited to see that one. That one's cool.
Yeah, so I got that, and I have a few other ones that are kind of mixed in because my rep was like, dude, we have X amount of guitars available until the end of the year. You know, I'll read the list off, and you tell me what you need or what you want. And so I just picked what was going to kind of be available. So, and that's, guitar industry wide right now. It's interesting.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I don't know if it's because so many people are buying or if so many places are just still at half capacity with shipping. Because I think it's a factor of both going on. But
there's some supply chain issues with a lot of companies,
right?
Pedal companies, also guitar companies and stuff like that. So,
well, yeah, because even like JHS, Dunlop, and a few companies, I guess they're all waiting on like the same chip. So like all these delays that are normally staples are all like on just back orders for months now.
And a lot of companies, like even like what we're doing, we're ordering stuff like we're selling it.
Right.
And and then because what's happening is like right now we have a pretty good selection. Up front has a good selection of Fenders and Reverends and G&Ls and Gretsch and stuff. Right. But that's because these are orders that I placed months ago, just because we were anticipating the fact that like these things are going to trickle in, and it's not going to be readily available. Like, hey, we just order and it comes in a week, like normal.
Right. Well, that's why, because everybody. I mean, I don't think customers are getting too frustrated because they do understand, but at the same time, we're running into like some shipping delays that that people are just not used to. So like we've had a few, missed sales just because people don't want to wait 2 months, and it's like that part of it right now is right now it's out of our control, because even if we order it, immediately, it doesn't mean it's not gonna take forever to get here, because it's just that's the way it's been this whole year. So
I got a Fender PJ bass for a customer that he's waiting on. It's not going to be here till July.
Yeah. So
I had a customer that asked me about a Reverend double agent W in Italian purple. Really cool color, by the way. And the thing is it's not going to be here till September. So I told her, it won't be until September. She's like, "Oh, is there anything you can do?" I'm like, "Not unless I
we literally can't we can't make them build them quicker." So
and I'm like, there's nothing we can do. So if you're interested, I can order it and have it available.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, I don't want to wait that long. I'll find it somewhere else." And I'm like, "I hope you do." And I'm not being a dick. I'm not trying to be a dick.
No, but at the same time,
I hope you do find it somewhere else, because it may not be available. Now, I ended up ordering it anyway.
Right.
Because I was just like,
that'll sell anyway.
Well, number one, it'll sell. But if she's unable to find it anywhere else,
it'll be here.
We will definitely have it in September. So, it'll come back. It's kind of like when some people ask, for special orders, we try to get a deposit, but some people ask about stuff, and sometimes I just order it anyway, because I'm like, well, if that guy wants it, there's got to be at least
that's what. We've kind of been doing that with pedals for a while, and that's honestly helped expand the line, because then too, there's always somebody else that's going to want it eventually. So
it's worked.
Right.
So anyway, I think we went long-winded. That's what happened.
No, I think that was a good. I mean, like I said, I think everybody.
I'm dying for talk to people, man. I've been locked up for weeks.
Well, and I think these are good points. Like, if you guys, don't obviously work in a store right now that's selling musical instruments, you might not know, because it's been frustrating for some, but at the same time, like I said, I think people are understanding because of what's still going on. I mean, honestly, until the vaccines are just at a pretty wide spread, like summertime, I just don't feel like anything's going to get back to normal until then. So,
and here's another thing. I've heard this from a number of people that have said, "Oh, Fender's not taking any more orders at all this year."
Yeah,
that's not true. Just so you know.
Well,
that's not the truth. I'm
where's
sure
that coming from? Because a customer said that the other day too.
I've heard it. I've heard it a number of times from customers, and I'm like, I'm ordering stuff. It's taken a while.
Yeah, it's taking a long time, but they're not.
But they're not closing it down. So I talked to my rep, and my rep said, "No, man, because I was like, dude, is this just bullshit chatter?"
Right.
Like, people on the internet are talking, and everybody thinks, one person says Fender's not taking orders, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
So he said, no, we're still taking orders. Things are taking a long time. It's going to be a while before we see some things. There are some caveats to that.
Everybody just pretend like it's 1956, and we'll be fine. Right.
In certain series, you're going to see a little bit more of that series than another series, because if they're going to, you got to remember, Fender's like a bajillion-dollar company. They have eggheads that sit around and go, you know what, we should run an analysis on how to do this right here. And then they sit down and they figure out, well, like, wow, we make more money if we build a lot of these and less of these, because we can, you know what I mean? So I'm sure they've run the numbers and they figured it out. So they'll probably be slower on some stuff, and they're going to make more of other things because, they're
going to edge at what's going to make them, what's going to bring in the money quicker. I mean, as any business would.
Because this will end.
Right.
Just like, time has got a weird thing. Like, it never, nothing's the same. Eventually we're going to get past this pandemic stuff. Eventually we'll get past this whole slowdown, and we'll be into another sales cycle.
Right.
So things just change. I'm just saying.
I think the main thing is just patience, for everybody.
Going on up there.
Yeah, Ziggs is making all kinds of, he's trying to get all the whiffs through the door.
Yeah, he's trying to eyeball them through the door.
Yeah. Well, his head's turning too, so that means there's a mystery. There's a
mystery stink in there. He's got a mystery stink up in his nose. All right. Well, I think that's good, right?
Yeah, I think we're open. So, and we gotta let Ike get back so he can prepare for his family.
Oh, this last month or so has been.
It's been a crazy. Brutal month. Yeah, busy month here, busy month out of here. So.
Yeah, COVID, the whole nine, the buildings thing. That's still in process. We got a lot. There's a lot cooking. even, you know, what's really funny, like we were talking earlier, I'm like, I think I'm about doing my own YouTube channel about this
Right.
and that and the other thing, which is true.
Where are you going to put it in though?
I've been thinking
yeah.
about like doing my own YouTube channel, and mostly just to push myself for some musical stuff, but also push myself on the projects I want to do at my house.
Right.
And if you guys are like interested in seeing some of that, like, here's Ike working on his weak caravan,
Right.
or I'm like, or working on this bass thing that I'm trying to do and do some builds.
Yeah.
I realize I got like maybe 6 or 7 or 8 guitar bodies at home.
Oh yeah,
And I need
in
to
the works.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, maybe I should just do videos on putting these things together or finishing them off. I don't really need the guitars.
No, but it'd be cool
And
if
maybe
you just
sell
choose
some of
one
them and see if you guys are interested in that. So let me
Yeah.
know if you're even still.
I think the guys would be. Yeah.
You know, but let me know because I think I'm going to put that together and actually just, and it would also get me to work on my editing skills too. You know, because I got so much extra time to do all this shit. But anyway.
Well, yeah, if you guys got any questions or topics for next week, be sure to throw them in and definitely hit the bell and subscribe and all that shit.
Yeah.
Helps a lot.
Ring your bell.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.